Reverie, over here.
Dane! Oh, and, Vediflin here? What a surprise to see you here, sir.
Hello there, Rerir. You need not address me so formally outside of court.
He doesn't get that much free time, so I invited him over for a drink. Even the court prophet deserves a break every now and then.
Well, I'm flattered.
So, what are we discussing today?
Hey, don't look at me. As far as I see it,
Come on, don't give us that. Didn't you say you were about to pop the big question? How's that coming along?
Who'd have thought the great Twilight Sword was an
I just didn't expect you to be the first one to settle down and get married, that's all.
Yeah. If you told me that a few years ago, I wouldn't have believed you either.
So, are you planning to come clean about your job then? I'm guessing you still haven't told her.
Sure, I'll have to tell her at some point. But I'll need to pick the right time and place.
Come on, stop being such a pessimist. For all you know, she could be thrilled. I bet she'll be much more impressed by your a member of the King's Guard. Quite the cover story. Does the king himself even know?
Of course he does. Anyway, enough about me. How have you been?
Me? Same old, nothing much to... Huh? What's up, Ved?
It's nothing.
Vediflin, Dainslift's elder brother. Renowned throughout the court of Conria as... And yet, despite the gulf between us, he seems to have something to say about me. Does he even know me? Does he see me as a friend of his brother, or just another of the Vinster King? Why did he react so strongly? Was it really to do with what...
Brown, curly hair and brooding blue eyes. So this is what Rerir looked like back in the day. Perfectly normal. No different from anyone else. As frightening as this monster is in the present, there's...
Felindis? You're back early?
Our equipment's being serviced today, so I got off earlier than usual. How's your day been? Aw, why the long face? Is something the matter? How's your boss?
Went for a drink with Dane and the others after work.
Isn't that a good thing?
Vediflin showed up today, too.
Ah, Mr. Vediflin. Yes, I've heard of him. They say that
He overheard Dainslift mention that I'd recently proposed, and seemed to have an issue with it. But when I asked what it was, he kept it to himself.
So, you're worried? You can be such a child sometimes, We're nobodies. Why would the Visionary be concerned about us? I'm sure someone in his position has much bigger fish.
Maybe you're right.
You worry too much, Rerir. We've been together for ages now, and everything's been going
So, you do remember?
Like I said, I need some time to decide. You can't just rush into things like this. We may be nobodies in the grand scheme of things, but if we want things to work out,
All right. Take your time. Just don't... Nobodies. Sounds about right. In the eyes of... Can someone whose gaze is so fixed on a far-flung future even see the present clearly? Besides, the dynasty's fate rests with the king and his inner circle. Meanwhile, every idea they come up with and every decision they make, it affects everything. These days, the king is lost in his research, and the purge of the Crimson Moon bloodline grows ever more intense. The opposition tried to speak out, but nothing came of it. And a man can have 1,000 reasons to carry a sword, but there are few good excuses to use it. Yet the king has never even considered a gentler approach. And what becomes of someone who kills on another's behalf? Can he ever find true peace? Thelindis? It's nothing. You were right. Fate has never smiled upon nobodies like us. But by the same token, there's no reason we can't keep living happily together, cherishing the simple joy.
See? You just need to stay positive, Revere. I can feel your warmth, your breath. You're right there, right by my side. Just seeing you makes me happy in a way I can't explain. And that's something that no one could ever take away from me.
You're right, Thelindis. I've just been overthinking things.
That's better. Getting caught up about things like this will only ruin our evening. Speaking of which, all set for the ball tonight? I need to go.
You go ahead. I just have a few things to take care of, then I'll come join you.
Even busier than the big shots, huh? Fine, I'll go get started. But don't be late. If you keep me waiting too long, I won't be a happy bunny.
Relax. I'll be... Seriously, though, you drive a hard bargain. You're really gonna leave my proposal hanging and still expect me to take you to the ball?
Well, that goes without saying. I already told everyone I'd be coming with a day. Besides, they're two completely different things. Let's take it one thing at a time, all right?
All right. White outfit it is.
It seems like Rerir was deliberately hiding his ties to the intelligence services by giving the impression that he was just an ordinary member of the Vinster King's Guard. He clearly doesn't want his would-be fiancée to know about his other life. Then again, that's hardly surprising. People in the intelligence... Who'd have thought we were in the same line of work? Let's dig a little deeper.
Our last operation was a resounding success, and all thanks to you, Rehir of Solnari. In total, we apprehended 32 dregs of the Crimson Moon.
After all these years since the dynasty's fall, so many of them still linger on.
Indeed, it cannot be denied. Yet it was destiny that the Crimson Moon should be overcome by the eclipse, and that His Majesty, the all-seeing Vinster King, now guides our nation on the path to prosperity. Conria has no further need for a dead moon. But alas, there will always be those who refuse to see the truth, choosing instead to...
That's not entirely true. Much about the Crimson Moon era was worthy of remembrance. And that's exactly why they keep trying. Many of its secrets remain unsolved to this day. As it happens, that's precisely the field of study.
You still haven't told her what you really do for a living.
Where would I even start? How do you tell someone that you're one of the king's hand-picked executioners? That your hands are...
You didn't choose this life, any more than I did. Orphans like us don't get a say.
But I'll sure as heck be the one to pay for it. Speaking of which, we need to be more rigorous in the way we identify direct descendants of the Crimson Moon. Someone, it seems, has strong opinions about my future plans. Most likely my marriage in particular. I have a feeling that we may soon become targets of the...
Your concerns are not unfounded. They've taken out many of our colleagues these past few years, and for that very reason. Take care, Rehir of Solnari. I look forward to toasting you at your...
Thanks, Thorkel. Thelindis, I never wanted to keep this from you. You're the last person I would ever want to lie to. But that's exactly why I can't tell you. The Moonlit Dynasties are a thing of the past. Yet even now with the sun, could that be why Vedalfnir held back? Or was it I have to get a clear answer from him. No matter what happens.
Rerir seems to be very concerned by Vedalfnir's reaction. Vedalfnir and Dainsleif, the Visionary and Twilights. I've investigated this whole area now. There doesn't seem to be any other memories here. Should I try somewhere else? Wait a second. What's this black?
So, he's late after all. Just you wait, Rerir.
Are you waiting for someone, ma'am?
Oh, sure. Pick me up.
Thank you. But I'm afraid none of them are as pretty as you.
For someone so young, you sure have a way with words, don't you?
I'm only telling the truth. Look me in the eyes. You'll see I'm not lying. May we have a word in private?
Who are you? And what do you want?
It doesn't matter who I am. Too many of our kind have fallen lately, so I decided to take the risk. Not long ago, the Ray here of Solnari led an assault on one of our strongholds.
Sorry, I don't know why you're telling me this. And I don't want to get involved.
Wait, hear me out. This time we finally got a clear look at his face and learned his true identity. His name is Rerir, and he claims to be one of the king's...
What did you...
A cruel irony, isn't it? The man you're set to marry leads a double life as a brutal executioner.
Why are you...
Simple.
How strange. Rerir was nowhere to be seen in that memory. Rerir couldn't possibly know what happened if he wasn't even there. Why would her memories appear in his fragment? The ceremony won't last much longer. I think it's time.
So that was your doing? Did you just pull us inside Rerir's fragment to spy?
Any more questions, and I'll have to start charging.
I had no idea you could do that, boss! Seriously, that was amazing! I gotta admit though, I'm itching to see what happens next. Feels like
I'm just as curious as you are. But the ceremony only allows for limited time, and luckily we managed to learn quite a lot.
So far, so good. I just hope the others are doing okay, especially the group with the Traveler.
If you're worried about them, go see.
If I know boss, she's gonna need some time to...
Oh, they've been prowling around for nearly 2 days now. These things just won't quit. Oh, they might not have seen us yet, but them constantly sweeping the area? That's never gonna work. If they spot us, they'll run straight back to Rerir. And once he... guess you're right. Quick, hide! We almost got spotted! Phew! That was a close call. Watch out! It's coming this way! Keep going. We're nearly there. This is the final hurdle. Oh, there's no end to these things! Fire. Fire? Wait, what's that smell? Oh no! There's a fire!
Centrone was right. You look weak, Columbina. The old you would never have let such lowly creatures bar your way. Word has it that you did something for the Tsaritsa, and that's why you've lost most of your power. Freedom comes at a heavy price, doesn't it?
It's Arlecchino!
Hello again, Columbina. And greetings, guests of the House of the Hearth.
It's been a while. Stupid right here of stupid Solnari. Ugh, whatever. I've got all the he sure doesn't pull his punches.
Excuse me, do you need a hand?
You can do me a favor by staying out of my way. Can't you see I'm bit- Wait a minute. I recognize that.
Hello, Miss Sandrone. Father sent us over to help.
Huh. How considerate of her. Hey, Fremine, get over here and help me fix this. Lenny, you do your thing. Just keep your sister away from my machines. Nearly every machine that cat girl touches ends up going haywire. Go put her on cleaning duty or something.
Then let's start downstairs. Fremine, we'll leave this...
You've got it.
Wait a second. Pretty sure there's still some tea in the cupboard. If you want some, you'll have to make it yourselves.
I'm never late. Watch out!
It's a relief to see you all made it back in one...
Huh? Feels like there's quite a few people missing.
I returned ahead of them. Flint is helping Aino and Anefa to set up the decoys and buy...
Boss is still wrapping things up on her end. She sent us back to fill...
I see. Then let's get right into it. But first, who do we have here? You brought...
Greetings. I was invited here to help as a longtime tea party companion of Columbina's. You may call me Arlecchino.
Surely it can't be.
Those eyes. Oh, where have I seen them before?
The only Arlecchino I know is the fourth of the Fatui Harbingers. So either you share a pretty uncommon name.
You're well informed, Grandmaster. A man from Mondstadt living all the way out here in Nodcry, and yet the people and affairs of Snezhnaya seem to hold a special place in your heart.
Oh, the feeling's mutual. Sounds like you know all about who I am, too.
A Fatui Harbinger.
The atmosphere in here just got really tense. Guess we can't just start trusting Fatui Harbingers, even at a time like this.
I must admit, though, I'm a little curious. Seeing as the moon goddess no longer belongs to the Fatui.
Nor does Nodcry belong to Mondstadt, Mr. Varka. Yet still, you're fighting for it all. Things don't always have to have a tangible payoff. Sometimes, stopping things from spiraling out of control is a higher priority. Of course, I can't say there's nothing in it for me at all. But that's between Columbina and myself.
Forgive me. I don't mean to doubt you. It's just that the Fatui really have... We have our own way of doing things here in Nodcry. But ever since they arrived, the Fatui have treated us with nothing.
I know there's been a lot of bad blood between us in the past. I've done my utmost to avoid friction whenever I could. But sometimes fundamental conflicts of interest simply can't be settled amicably. That's why I'm here solely in a personal capacity. This has nothing to do with the Fatui. As a gesture of good faith, I'll be frank. I can help Columbina track down the iridescent moon's marrow, which will help her restore more. Anyway, what else is on the agenda? Let's begin.
She says she'll be frank, then completely skips over the details. Looks like she doesn't want to give away too, but she clearly wants to change the subject. It'd be awkward if I tried to bring it up again now. I guess we'll just have to go along with it. She's the fourth of the Fatui.
Well, since Miss Arlecchino sounds confident in her ability to handle that...
All right, listen up, everyone. First, we now know that Rerir was originally a Conrian secret agent whose primary mission was to hunt down...
The dregs of the Crimson Moon?
In the memories, there was a lot of talk about the Crimson Moon and Eclipse, and a whole bunch of other stuff from the time of Conria.
To my knowledge, those were the names of two different Conrian dynasties. Long, long ago, it is said that the people of Conria worshipped the Crimson Moon, drawing a mysterious power from its reflection. But one day, a coup saw the Crimson Moon eclipsed, hence the name of the new dynasty that replaced it, and how it became the new emblem of Conria.
Still, long after the Crimson Moon dynasty had fallen, the last ruler of the Eclipse dynasty, the Vinster... In those days, Rerir showed no signs of madness. In fact, he was at... What's the matter?
Verfnir, Freindaughter, Flinders.
Interesting. Anything else?
Well, she was a researcher at the Universitas Magistrorum.
Oh, and one more thing. For some reason, Rerir's fragment also contains some of Thelindis' memories.
Well, no shortage of potential leads, I'll give you that. In any case, it sounds like we can conclude that while Thelindis, it seems, must have been the one thing in this world that he couldn't let go of.
Why do you need to know that? Hold on. If she was a pure-blood Conrian, oh yeah. Just like how it was with the
If we could somehow find her, do you think...
It's possible. But it would take a miracle. That merchant who Nefer knows, Dori Sangama Bay. Maybe we could hire her to look into it.
Alright then. Let's keep working in our separate team. Traveler, Paimon, Kutar, and Miss Arlecchino will go look as for the others.
On the way over here, I noticed that the Wild Hunt monsters had grown even more frenzied in their search for... At this rate, the people living here will be in...
I'll head back to the curatorium.
Feels good knowing we've all got something to be getting up. Given that the Wild Hunt has been a lot more active lately, the Lightkeepers have likely begun their... I'll hold the fort for now. Then discuss our next move with Flint's, Aino, and Anefa when they get back.
All right then.
Well, the clock's ticking. If that's everything, we'll be...
We'd better get moving too. We'll try to buy you as much time as we...
Relax. Just do your thing. Now, I decided to call in some backup since things are getting so hairy. Stay safe, everyone. Dismissed.
We're back. Did we get here a little...
A tad late. The others have already set off. To summarize, our resident... Everything going smoothly?
Not great. I don't know how long we can stall them for. The decoys are getting taken out way faster than we imagined. I'm gonna make some more later, but I need a timeout first. I'm so tired right... Oh, right! Inefa, could you fill in Uncle Var...
Sure. Uncle Varka, you previously told us about how when you went to investigate a source of the Wild Hunt in Amsbart, but according to Flint's intel, several outbreaks of the Wild Hunt had already occurred in Nodcry in the... That was before Rerir had regained his body, when he was far from regaining his...
Flint's, with everything that's been happening, the Lightkeepers across Nodcry... I know, I'm sure you're capable of coming up with something fun. And Effa and I will head back over to Amsfartnir to see if the...
I told you Uncle Varka would say that, didn't I? A deal's a deal. Not a word about my snack intake for the next week.
Database updated. Reliability of Aino's predictions increased.
What is that?
They were betting on how you'd respond after hearing their...
It's the obvious choice, isn't it? That's hardly worth betting on.
We already decided that Anefa should go... Someone needs to hang back and oversee our strategy meetings. And besides, you still haven't fully recovered from ambushing Rerir.
So I've ended up with the easiest assignment. Well, I appreciate it, everyone.
Here, this will serve as a good spot to cross over.
Arlecchino, hold up a second. Since you brought us all this way, would you mind? We still haven't got the slightest idea what's going on here. And if even Columbina doesn't know where the iridescent moon's marrow is, how do you?
Simple. Because I am an inheritor of the royal bloodline of the Crimson Moon. And one of the last surviving embers of the Two Worlds' flames.
Huh? Are you serious? Isn't you're a descendant of that Crimson Moon dynasty we were just talking?
Your surprise is understandable. I was also taken aback when I first learned of it, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized the signs had been there. When I was young, I discovered I could wield a very special kind of fire. It coursed like blood through my veins and smoldered away inside my nerves. What's more, whenever I experienced strong bursts of emotion or drew too deeply on this power, it was like some kind of presence within the fire would begin to gnaw away at me, consuming me from the... Exactly. That is why my hands are like this, too. At first, I saw it only as a curse, but once I became a harbinger, the Jester apprised me of the truth. Together with my own investigations over the past few years, there are several things. For instance, take the so-called Crimson Moon. In truth, it is nothing more than the shattered remnants of the iridescent moon, fused with the abyss to prolong its lifespan. Since this blood flame was bestowed upon me by the Crimson Moon, it is a fusion of the iridescent moon's former power and the corruption of the... You all understand the nature of the abyss well enough. I draw upon its power, and in return, it hungers for my soul. This strange blackness is the mark of corruption it has left behind.
If I recall correctly, you once told me that if the corruption ever made it to your heart...
Yes, and that's the reason I'm always careful not to push my power too far. It's a...
Oh, sounds intense.
Anyway, the rest of my story can wait. Is there anything else about the Crimson Moon?
Paimon has a question. So, the Crimson Moon that the Carians used to worship was actually the iridescent. Does that mean that the Carians were to the Crimson Moon as the Frost Moon Scions are to the Frost Moon?
So much of that history has been lost. We have no way of knowing exactly what they were like. But I would suspect that the Conrians weren't as devout in their moon worship as it might appear. The iridescent moons remain simply... Later on, perhaps someone discovered a way to make direct contact with the Abyss. Or maybe... Still, even with the dark sun looming high overhead...
The first time we met, I sensed something familiar in your... When I looked at you, I felt I could see that mysterious red moon in the corner of my eye. In your flames, I saw its broken image.
Well, I appreciate that you kept it to yourself. Much about the Crimson Moon is still a mystery, and I'd prefer not to end up as the object... Anyway, time is against us here, so if there... I just want to make sure I've got one thing straight. In her letters, Sandrone... are unable to contain the iridescent moon's marrow yourself. You intend to leave it in my custody, correct?
That's right. For now, it's the only way. The iridescent moon is already part of who you are. So with its marrow in your possession, you'll be even more powerful than...
Deal. Then let's get started.
Get what started? What does this place have?
When I first became a Harbinger, the Jester gave me a book called Paranhari, also known as Leobranto Innamorato. You should be able to buy a copy next time you're in Fontaine. It's a love story set in the Crimson Moon era. But setting aside, in the Crimson Moon era, or so the story goes, there was an orphanage that received children from beyond the bounds of this world, and subjected them to a peculiar induction ceremony.
Beyond the bounds of this world? For real?
The Crimson Moon sages looked beyond this world for beings with powers that surpassed the gods. But fearing they might lose control, they subjected these children to a process of... They made these children crawl up a fireplace and kept asking them, "Have you died? Did you see it?" Until they finally admitted to having died and seen. The adults embraced the children who passed the ritual, telling them, "Within the fireplace, you have traversed the flames between two." The book leaves much unsaid. But I suspect that this was their way of branding the children they had enrolled, leaving an indelible...
That explains why I can't sense the Crimson Moon's marrow in this world. It makes sense that it would be sealed in a special space that can only be accessed temporarily through some kind of ritual. But there's no fireplace here! Do you see a chimney anywhere? Oh, are we supposed to build it ourselves?
That won't be necessary. The fireplace is purely symbolic. The key to the ritual is crossing the flames between two. Those burned away by such flames leave behind a kind of ghostly afterimage in the world. In the days of Conria, people believed they could be used to bridge the gap between the two. In short, I can open a passage to that space for you. The catch is I'll need to stay on this side to keep the passage open. So I won't be able to come with you. Very well. Then I'll open it up.
Traveler, spare me a little more moonlight if you would. I may... Thank you. I feel like I've recovered some of my...
Mistress of the seven hues of ages past, great mother of the present, crimson-clad sovereign of the two realms, By fire severed, by fire renewed. I offer myself now and beseech your descent. One word of advice. As you're crossing over, no matter what voices...
Got it! I sense a sinister gloom inside. But also the familiar... I feel that I'm about to meet an old friend who has changed beyond all recognition.
I sense your presence, and great death and rebirth. Wait, why are you? You have crossed over from another world, transcended fate itself. I have no right to.
Is that the abyss? It's practically filled the entire place. What now? What a tragic sight. Fragments of your broken body, seized by the abyss, and hung up aloft like mummified remains. Careful! There's something... Paimon's right behind you! By the way, Columbina, didn't you tell us that the iridescent moon had shattered into pieces? The moon up there looks pretty whole to Paimon. How is that possible? Just like I thought. It was only a facade. chill. That's way too hot.
No. I'm not sensing anything. It's coming from under the mountain.
Let's see. Ah! There's some kind of weird shadow over the water. Wait, see that? Looks like a mechanism of some sort. Let's check it out. Looks like a device from the time of Kalia. Maybe people once came here to study the Crimson Moon's domain, and they left this behind. Oh, if we can activate it, we might find some clues. Hey, look at that! Now that the mechanism's running, the shadow in the water looks... Do you think these mechanisms might be the key to
Thelindis, we'll leave the rest of the research in your hands. We'll be heading back now.
I hope this isn't ruining date night.
Ugh. Mind your own business. Just leave me some snacks on the...
Thelindis? Is that Rere's girlfriend? How come we're hearing her Oh, yeah. So, do you think she was studying?
The abyss has made this space extremely unstable. Maybe that's why some of the things she said and did were preserved here. Like echoes.
Whenever I see this view, it takes me back to a poem from my waning moon. Oh, lifeless damsel, weeping on the mountain crest. For me, of all people, to be here investigating the mysteries of the Crimson Moon space.
The abyss has messed up this mechanism. We need to find a way to get it working again. Let's see if there are any other devices nearby.
Transfixed! So the moon marrow, or rather the power of the 3 moons, is the key to unlocking... If it really does exist, then maybe this madness can finally be put to an end.